It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Okay, I be the Black Avenger, more greater than Alexander. Number one contender, more money in my agenda. Be the king of my castle, enjoying all of the splendor. Yo, shout this on me on Tinder, she might be gone to November. That's my old life, Chick-fil-A waffle fries on my bull bites. Creeping through the street, shit, I'm finna have me a whole wife. Niggas still searching, I'm ghosting ladies like poltergeist. And got they smell up off me like Old Spice, you know I'm right. Hey, that's a damn shame. I don't be rocking name brands, I'm a brand name. That's how the cash came. Put some money on myself and made a bet. Had my bills stuck in jeopardy like a Malik Trebek. I put my life in these 16s. Always they chapel like the 16. Everything clean, shining on pristine. But try to play me my sick team. Got in for greens, digging for that gold like 3 kings, my nigga. Give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Wait, give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Clipse. All right. Now, as y'all know, the Clipse have one of the most highly anticipated albums of the year with Let God Sort 'Em Out. Ever since this album was announced, it has been a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely one of the people that immediately placed my order soon as the pre-order was available, soon as the link was tweeted out. I went and copped my shit. I'm still, of course, the album drops this week, but I am definitely waiting for my copy to be mailed out to me with the t-shirt and everything. So shout out to them for that. But of course, high anticipation is always met with some level of controversy, okay? Now, we're not talking about the type of controversy of a Kendrick Lamar verse being potentially censored, although that was controversial. We're not talking about controversy of going back and forth with good music, Kanye or Travis Scott, perhaps, at least not today. Because unfortunately, as of yesterday, the Clipse album was leaked online. And not only was the album leaked, which I have refused to listen to, so I have no knowledge of how it sounds other than the songs that we've heard thus far. I'm going to hold out till tomorrow, because I do believe that they have a live listening that they're doing, or at least is going to be presented live, and maybe a premiere with Ebro and Apple Music. And I may actually come and get on stream while they play it. I highly doubt that I'll be able to keep the stream up if I do get on. But if y'all want to, witness and get a first listen of the album on the channel, I may do so. All right. So y'all let me know in the comments if y'all want to do that over here. But yeah, outside of those things and outside of the leak, we also have some tour information that's been leaked on the internet as well about the tour that they have coming up in a few weeks. And it seems that there is some sort of smear campaign going on against the Clipse just days before the album drops. And we have some people speculating on where the root or the source of this campaign may be coming from. So we're going to get into all of those things. The Clipse also have an interview with Elliott Wilson that was dropped yesterday. I didn't get a chance to actually talk about it, but we're going to get into a couple of the viral clips from said interview. It's actually a really good interview. This is where Elliott Wilson really thrives the most. This is why Elliott Wilson has been going hard for the last couple of years about new media and, people being able to properly interview an artist in the way that it should be done. And I think he did an excellent job of just knowing their catalog, knowing the ins and outs of their career, being able to ask the right questions. And also, something that people overlook is having the respect of the artist in order to ask the tough questions and actually get an answer out of them rather than them spinning your ass because they don't respect you. So I think all of those elements made for that interview to be effective, just as they've been really good on other platforms as well, though. Now, doubling back to this leak. I don't know who leaked the album online or who had the album early, but it has been said that there are some journalists, some media personalities that have had this album on their phones, perhaps in their emails, perhaps they've had links to the album for at least a couple of weeks. If you've tuned into any of the Apple Music shows with Ebro, Nadeska, and Low Key has been alluding to some hidden verse for the last couple of weeks. I'm not saying that Low Key was responsible for leaking the album because I don't believe that's something that he would do. However, it just lends to the fact that the Clipse have been letting a lot of people get that first listen to the album. Some people have actually had physical access to it or digital access to it. And unfortunately, when stuff like this happens, it does lead to an eventual leak. This is why a lot of artists in today's musical landscape, they hold on to their music until the very last minute that it can be submitted to streaming and all of the platforms so that they can try to circumvent the process and not have to deal with leaks. Because in the industry, people will sell your ass out, man. An engineer will sell your ass out which I don't think they should have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because they did this in Pharrell's studio. I don't know who was mixing in the studio. Probably not Pharrell. But I would think they have a pretty tight little squad to not have that situation. But other artists have had this situation where engineers have leaked their music, where they've recorded in these really big industry studios, and perhaps you leave something on the hard drive and somebody get access to it and then they sell it to somebody else and it gets really fucking messy. But this is an independent release we're talking about, man. This isn't even a major label release. This isn't from, one of the top 5% earners in the industry. I mean, the Clipse, they haven't released an album in over a decade. So this is, hopefully this doesn't affect their bottom line all that much. Hopefully they're still able to, have the same amount of success that they were going to have in the first place. But it also puts a little bit of a stain on the rollout. Now, I was just talking the other day about how good the rollout was up until a certain point with all of these listening sessions and all of these different leaks and snippets and all of these things ended up hitting the net. And I'm like, shit, it's my responsibility to come on here and talk about this stuff with y'all, because if I don't, y'all are going to be asking in the comments why I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I've been trying to avoid talking about these leaks after the Kendrick thing because I'm just like, all right, there's too much of this album being exposed. What the fuck is going on? Right? It wasn't that long ago I was just saying that. And the next thing you know, the entire thing is leaked because inevitably somebody who was exposed to it got loose with the access. I don't like that shit, man. Now, of course, again, people are kind of pointing the finger in the direction of Travis Scott. Okay? Travis Scott was definitely the target on the last verse of So Be It. Pusha T has been doing interviews talking about it very candidly, very openly about Travis Scott not being, all that fond of him. He doesn't respect rappers that don't actually rap. Going in detail about having to be, of service to him during hard time, giving him a shoulder to lean and cry on. But there's rumors out there that are stating that Travis Scott and his Jack Boys 2 album are supposed to be like a surprise release or something like that this week to kind of counter what the Clipse have going on. Find that to be interesting. I can't say that definitively if that's what's going to happen, but I have seen people saying to look out for that this week, right? I don't like that shit, man. But if Travis Scott is playing that type of game, I guess you could put that under retaliation. I guess you could put that under he's trying to defend himself in the ways that he knows how rather than the ones that he does not. I don't know. I can't say. But then when it comes to this tour, right? Just talked about that. Let me go ahead and pull this thing up. So you got this guy Kirko here, who is, a big Twitter page. I believe this person gets paid to post about, relevant topics in hip hop and releases. And, in the midst of the Kendrick and Drake battle, this channel, this page really blew up because they had like first access. Like soon as the songs were available, they was like jumping on it and getting it out. Almost seemed as if some of these songs, especially the Drake ones, were being shipped in their direction immediately. But anyway, they say ticket sales for Clipse upcoming tour have allegedly surfaced online, with current figures showing an average of 18.27% of tickets sold per market, ranging from 254 to 976 tickets. The tour starts in 3 weeks. So this person here is going ahead and positioning this, letting it be known that the Clipse are struggling a little bit to sell tickets in their estimation. The tour begins in 3 weeks, so hey man, people still got 3 weeks to get their money together, and we'll just see how things turn out in a couple weeks. But according to the information that they've posted, they have a show on August 3rd. We have 355 tickets sold in this first show. Boston, Philadelphia, they have 254 sold. In New York, they have 651 sold. In Fairfax, Virginia, of course, Virginia being one of, they from VA. They have 873 sold. In their hometown of Virginia Beach, 976 sold. Miami, 619. All right. And people online believe that this Kirko account is being used as part of the smear campaign. But there's another account out here who decided to do a little bit of investigation to see who would have put this information out. And as you can see in that left corner right below Malice, it says Cara Lewis Group, which is the touring or booking company or agency rather that the Clipse are using. They're putting this information out, right? Or at least they're responsible for the information. So shout out to Joey Gotham Hip Hop. He then puts up this photo here, and it says Travis Scott is represented by Cara Lewis Group, led by agent Cara Lewis for his U.S. bookings. While he has also worked with WME in the past, he has since returned to Cara Lewis Group. Lewis, a prominent figure in the music industry, founded her own agency, blah, blah, blah. So they're basically saying that some insider information has been leaked from perhaps Travis Scott's team, because the Clipse and Travis are both represented by the same booking agency. I don't know. And he says, I just made the whole connection, of course, referencing The Heart Part 6, the Drake version, not the real version. Okay? Interesting shit going on, man. Now, the interesting thing that I have to say about this whole tour tickets for the Clipse is they're not a humongous touring act. So now it looks like we're about to get into the space in this hip hop, this propaganda, in the Stan Wars, where now we're about to start looking at smaller artists touring numbers. If they have a problem with somebody in the industry, now we're going to start comparing the smaller artists. And when we say smaller, we're just talking about the market share. They're not on a major label. They're doing this independently. It's all self-run, self-contained within their own team. So now they're about to start putting these types of artists like the Clipse, who are not stadium acts, not even necessarily arena acts, and going to say, oh, they're not selling well, they're not doing this. And it's like, who expected for the Clipse to have a massive tour? That was never a part of the expectation. The people wanted the music. Once the album drops this week, the tour tickets went on sale before we heard the album. So once we get the album, I'm sure people are going to be excited to go to the show. And within the next 3 weeks, with people being able to live with the album, the tickets would probably begin to sell quite a bit more because people know exactly what they're showing up for outside of the back catalog. So niggas are being weird, man. Niggas are being weird. I don't like that shit, but you know, niggas is playing a dirty game out this bitch, man, as far as the social media. It's not even necessarily the people that you think, unless they're behind the scenes, you know, giving this stuff up. But I do find it interesting that Homeboy feels like this links back to Travis Scott, because again, his name has been getting drugged through the mud during the campaign for this album. This is his form of retaliation, allegedly. Okay? Now, getting off of the drama, or some of the drama, gonna play a couple of the clips from the Elliott Wilson interview, pun intended, clips. But first, we're gonna get into JayZ wanting to be a part of the album, and then we're gonna get into him speaking on Kanye, as in Pusha T, once more.
Well, when he shouted out Hove, 96 Hove, did you want to get him on that Mike Tyson joint?
Oh, we talked about that. I think he wanted to get on that at one point.
Yeah, it felt like he's supposed to pop in on that Mike Tyson joint.
Yeah.
You want me to make a call? I can try to help you.
Hey, help!
No, but you said the fly shit though. It's better to have this business. You see, you've had great verses from him.
Oh, for sure.
But you know, this is business, and and they support creators.
This has been great business. The squad over there. At Rock Nation, man. Yeah, man, this shit has been it's been really good, and it's good to like work with people who, you know, who are in it. They're in it like we're in it. So it's like we can pivot if something's going wrong, or we can, you know, make certain spontaneous decision making. It's different than being at at one of the majors under those umbrellas, because it takes they're never that nimble.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And this has been a very, very nimble process.
So is it going still through the UMG system, or is it separate distribution when it goes out to the world?
We're going through Rock distribution.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Like sort of like an independent.
Yeah.
Got you. So it is.
All right. So there's the Mike Tyson Blow to the Face song. And y'all know I played a snippet of that record on this channel a few weeks ago, which I told y'all probably is my favorite snippet that I've heard from the album thus far. There was one point where JayZ was expressing interest in being on that song. Okay? Now, I don't know why. Bruh, if JayZ tell me he want to get on a song, nigga, what verse I need to mute? I need to mute mine? I need to mute my brother? I need to mute who verse I need to mute? Right? But there's also the Ace Trumpets that says featuring Malice and Pusha T. So there's still the prospect that we could get a JayZ verse on there rather than Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. I still feel like I would have liked to have heard Jay on that one other than Ace Trumpets, but Ace Trumpets makes a lot more sense because it is an ode to JayZ's liquor, Ace of Spades, the big fucking giant bottle of Ace of Spades, the gold bottle being an Ace Trumpet, and it says featuring Malice and Push. So it seems like it would only make sense that he's on there, and perhaps in order to, because you know you can't pay JayZ for a feature. JayZ want to get on your song that's worth over $1 million. Nobody's paying that, right? So the easy way in new industry times is if I get on your shit and I don't accept a payment for it, just put me in on, you know, ownership of the record. So this could easily be a JayZ song now featuring the Clipse, although it's on their album, similar to how JayZ did with Memphis Bleak on 534. If y'all remember Dear Summer, I know you're gonna miss me. And we've been together like Nike Airs and Clipse tees, S Dotson, Polo fleeces, purple label with the logo secret. Give me a couple years, I might just sneak in a couple birds and like peaches. Y'all don't get me started. Right? He had said that verse on the radio, but people were like, damn, when's that song dropping? The song dropped. It was on Memphis Bleak album, not JayZ album. Memphis Bleak wasn't even on that motherfucker. Just gave that nigga a song. So this could be another version of that. You feel me? And last but not least, we're going to get into Pusha T speaking on Kanye speaking on Kanye not appreciating his business during his time at Good Music. So now he's finally getting to speak absolutely freely without restraints about, not feeling fully respected or valued the way he should have at Good Music.
Yeah, because even you being critical of Kanye at first when I read the article with Frazier, and then someone's like, it's just kind of shocking to hear you get to this point where you're willing to say, you know what, I can't deal with this guy anymore. Like this is the end of this. Like I was part of this. I appreciate my time with this. It helped my career. It was great. I contributed a lot myself.
We helped each other though.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
Everybody got to understand that we helped each other. Mm-hmm. It's never nobody just helped me. Mm-hmm. Ever. Like we did good business.
Yeah. Great business.
Very good business.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about from my beautiful dark to here. Mm-hmm. We did good business. I did the best business, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And some people I've seen online about this particular piece of the interview, they feel like Pusha T is alluding to writing the best records coming from Ye during this time period as well. I cannot put that official J Nolan stamp on that, but I have seen people speaking about that specifically. Like when he says the best business, they believe he's talking about putting the best pen to paper for Ye. But of course, he was president of Good Music. He also discovered talent over there at Good Music. He was also a liaison for other street artists that wanted to, come be a part of Good Music or collaborate with them. Like Pusha T definitely brought value to the fold and was probably the more easier person to talk to than Ye as far as the company was concerned. But we'll let him continue.
So
it just got to a point where you felt that wasn't appreciated, and
1,000%. You didn't appreciate my business, and it gets into that, and it gets into just the, I'm from a I came into this with my brother, and I'm from a world and a culture of like a certain level of loyalty. Mm-hmm. That we don't,
play with.
We win together, we lose together, we do it's together, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. And amongst the gang, mm-hmm. We have that comfort that this is what it's gonna be forever, and this is how we gonna carry it forever. And he doesn't carry it like that. Mm-hmm. He never has carried it like that. But it's a culture. Like I had to leave from out of that fold because it's a culture. He's created a culture of that type of business and attitude amongst each other. Mm-hmm. And
you don't like his leadership.
I hate his leadership. Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah.
I only like his music. Mm-hmm. I like his music. Like and I like we bond on. We bond in the nostalgia of what we like musically. Mm-hmm. But hell no, I don't like his leadership. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? No way. No way. He ain't no leader. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Like, he ain't no leader.
And speaking of business,
he just make good music.
All right, that's Pusha T. Now, what I want to say here, because I know there's going to inevitably be somebody here that says, well, why is he just now saying this? Well, if you go back to his interview on the Joe Budden podcast around the time that the story of Adidon came out, Pusha T voiced a lot of these same issues back then, especially when it comes to how they carry it via the brotherhood, where he comes from, the certain level of loyalty, the certain mutual respect that he expects from the people in his inner circle. He voiced that same sentiment back then because he didn't feel supported by Ye, even in that ordeal, because of the back and forth nature that Kanye had with Drake. One day they cool, one day they not, one day they dissing on each other in songs, next day they back in the studio writing, hugging it up, yucking it up. Which is why Pusha T says, hey man, I ain't never been invited to none of them sessions when them niggas be writing songs together. So I don't know what that nigga did. You start asking me if Drake wrote songs for a homie. I don't know, because I ain't never been invited. And I ain't never wanted to be there for none of that shit, because I don't play like that. I don't like them niggas. I don't like that nigga. So I ain't finna be in there. And he said, but I do not expect him to function the way that I grew up, because he did not grow up the way that I grew up. So I can't hold him to that same standard. But no, I don't like how that shit played out. Right? Kanye apologized to Drake at one point. He said he apologized for leaking the baby information to Pusha T. Pusha T says, I don't know why that nigga apologized, because I ain't get it from him. And he know I didn't. He was just publicly trying to save face. For what reason, I don't know. So these are lingering issues that if anybody cared to follow Pusha T along this journey, this isn't all new information. It's just coming to a head because he's fully separated from that situation, back with his brother. Now he's with Roc Nation, fully independent, no label censoring him. So now he can say what the fuck he want to say and go about it business. I ain't mad at it, but if you are, that's your prerogative, homie. Do what you do. But at the end of the day, I'm just ready to get this motherfucking album. I'm ready to press play on it without no funny shit. Because again, I refuse to listen to the leaks. And again, if y'all would enjoy having maybe like a live where we play, because they're gonna do a live listening session on, I think, Apple Music page. But you know, y'all want my live kind of intel and reaction to the album, and you know, that whole, you know, enjoy it collectively. I might do that. Hopefully it don't run too late though, because you know, from a father, man, I gotta get my motherfucking rest, man. She get critical out there, bit, man. But let me know. All right. Once again, before I go, be sure to vote for your boy in the Global Citizen Festival. Okay. Last time I checked, I am in 7th place, trying to get up to number 1. Gonna need those votes. Be sure to get those free votes in. If you have a Facebook page, all you gotta do is just log in, blah, blah, blah. Hit that little vote button, move on. Do not pay them $1. But I would greatly appreciate it, okay? I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.